Okay, we now call the county work session to order. John Beatty has something he wants to talk about right up front.
Go ahead and start your meeting.
Okay, so first, Emergency Service Committee, Ernest Phillips Chair. I think Sam is going to read and do his.
Call Emergency Services Committee to order. David Bluday. Here. Kenneth Chadwell. Here. Ed Brown, absent. I'm here. Robert McBroom. Here. Rick Burke. Here. And Ernest Phillips is here. The, under item 1, emergency management and maintenance of emergency communication equipment. Wendy, do you have something you wanted to present to us? I think everybody should have one of these handouts.
We went to all three towers on October the 26th, and the Robbins Tower, both batteries were working. They were fully charged. The one on John Hall Flats and Great Breath Road, both batteries were dead. I called, well, I didn't call, I texted Todd Overbay to see how much those batteries would cost, and he said there was $187 a piece, $187, but I don't think that's including shipping and that, you know, getting them in and then getting them to us. So I don't know exactly what the total price would be. So I don't know if that would be the cheapest, or you tell me who else I need to call.
That is jail packs she's talking about, which they are supposedly supposed to last longer. I've not been able to search on that very much myself at this time. But either that or deep cycle, like fishing batteries. Like I said, he did tell her, I was with her when she texted him. He said the gel pack was a better battery and would last longer. But they are all dead. Ambulance service, rescue squad, and this is at John Hall, and the fire people. Now they do have a generator there. Oneida, they've got a generator, but I think it's only for their side. And all those batteries is dead, so if the power goes down, there's probably no communication from that for the ambulance or the fire.
Ginger, does our maintenance money we have in our maintenance area cover that?
I told the mayor just to fill out a requisition and send it down to get a purchase order.
Okay, I'm sorry, may I ask a question? Are these just batteries that we can purchase from any, are these standard batteries?
They're big. I don't know. I don't know nothing about batteries. They're big, is all I know. Ginger, I gave Ginger a picture of them to have for the records, but I mean, they look about that big. I have no clue.
Jim,
Jail
batteries?
packs, I don't know where you'd get them.
The jail pack batteries are a deep cycle battery, and they predominantly are made for trolling motors, things of that nature. They do have a longer cycle, but deep cycle will work regardless of what they are, but the jail packs are the best ones that I know of, because you don't have to add water or anything to them when they're recharging. They stay, but yeah, you can.
The big question I got is it batteries that we can purchase local without having to ship them through one of our auto dealers or something?
You can.
You can. So
I'll check on that tomorrow.
And the one thing that I would like to ask is the reason these batteries possibly go dead or whatever is that we don't have maintainers on them. These batteries can't just sit without being energized. So you put a trickle charger on these things and they'll last 10 times longer than they would if they're just sitting and not being used. They got to be used and recharged, used and recharged if you put maintainers on them. And my understanding is that from what I've gathered in my usage, you can buy maintainers for $20 to make get 5 years life out of your batteries. So, you know, that's something we probably desperately need to do, put these batteries in. So,
When I talked to Tracy Jacobs, I got the impression that as long as the AC current was up and running, then there was like a trickle charge.
charging the battery.
Well, that's what I want.
That's the way it should be.
That's, I mean, that's my understanding.
He told us that out here, but now he came out here and
So
told
if the
us.
battery goes dead, you know, has
It's
the,
bad.
has the electric been off and it just drained the battery, or is it not getting the trickle charge, or what? So I don't know, that's something we need to look
Is it a regular 12-volt battery?
Yes, it is, like a marine battery, and that,
From what he said, it's big, it's not like a marine battery. It's like equipment.
well, it's,
It's bigger than a car battery, I can tell you that.
You still can purchase them here.
you was talking about the shipping stuff, it would be on shipping if we could buy them close. And
I mean, I can get a total estimate if you want me to see what he would charge.
well, would you find out from him if these things have trickle chargers on them? If they don't, then that's something that we really need to do. You know, it's any battery that sits in equipment or anything, personally, I know this, without charging it up, keeping a charge on it, it will go dead, and sometimes you won't get them back. So would you ask him if there's a trickle charger on these things already?
Okay.
And check locally with basically the same battery to see if we can get them local and not have a shipping bill on.
I think there should be some urgency too, because we're sitting here with two sites that lose electric power.
I ain't saying we'll do it, I said let's just do it right and try to.
I'm just saying, let's move it quickly, what we're gonna do. Anything else?
That's it.
Anybody got any questions? Next, we have ambulance service. Dan, do you have anything? You good? Good. Sheriff's Department, do we have anybody here from the Sheriff's Department? I don't have anything in the other unless someone else does. I have a motion to adjourn. Motion. Second. We've got motion from Kenny and second from Robin. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Okay, moving on to the Buildings and Grounds Committee, Rick Russ, Chair.
Call the Building Grounds Committee order. Eric Newport, Sheila Butler, Robin Newman,
Here.
Sam Miles,
Here.
Robin Fern,
Here.
and Rick Burke. First on the agenda is the sale of the old hangar building out at the airport, and Brian, y'all come up and kind of tell us what's going on.
We've started our new hangar at the airport. One of the stipulations from the state of Tennessee, Department of Transportation, the old hangar must be removed. What we'd like y'all to consider or get your opinion on, we need to take it down. If someone in the county wants it or needs it, we'd like to see them get it. Otherwise, we will put it on gov deals or something and bid and see if we can sell it.
I think we have to basically bid the demolition of this thing.
Okay.
Is that not correct?
Well, I think if the county wants it, then
It's
we
a
have to go
transfer.
out and get a bid for somebody to take it down.
Yeah.
Is that right? What the other avenue we're talking about is just somebody outside of the government wanting to.
But if
That would
it's
be the
somebody
state.
outside of government, we have to bid the basically demolition.
Yes. Yes, we just wanted to see if anybody in the county wanted it, where it could be a transfer of assets over to someone else. If not, then we will take bids to see what it costs us to take it down or what we can sell it for, if we can sell it. It's a 10,000 square foot building.
Has anybody in the county showed any interest in the possibility of the building, the road department, or anybody?
Until just a few minutes ago. You can ask Pinnacle.
Oh,
So I don't know. But anyway, we want to be sure that y'all have that you know what's going on, and then if nobody wants it, we'll go ahead and try to sell it. Or, take bids on it.
What's the estimated cost of taking it down? Over 10,000? Probably.
Could be that much, yeah.
David West told me several years ago that it would take somewhere between $30,000 and $35,000 to take it down. and the same amount to put it back up. Later on,
We'll have to be it. Thank you.
yeah.
Are you meeting, they have approval to do that, or can you do that through your board?
Well, we just want you all to know, and whatever the county, if Ginger would handle that, however she wanted to do it's fine with us.
Finance would have to be it.
But if nobody in the county wants it, then we'll put it out for bid. Nobody else.
But does that need to be done to?
You have to finance.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on our, we don't have it on our agenda, but I've asked that Pinnacle, formerly the Scott County Homeless Shelter, just come tonight and kind of give us a breakdown and agenda of what their goals are right now. So, would you like to come up?
I'm sorry, I forgot to put that on there, Rick.
That's okay.
Lee Crabtree, one of the board of directors out of Pinnacle, and Ray Perry, you guys know already. Our goals eventually is to own the facility that we're in and its grounds. We can improve our services. We're restricted by being tenants right now of the services that we can provide and the funds, grant funds, donated funds, because we are tenants. We want to change that to being owners. I've got a group out of Pennsylvania that's withholding funds to be donated because we don't own the building. I left, I covered my shirt up, but we were right in the middle of a major renovation out there. Improving the insides of the building, just finished painting the outsides, the face of it, which hopefully Wednesday, all of you have been invited to join us out there and look at what we've done so far, but we don't want to stop there. We want to take this thing through to the building that was just offered. If God has his way, we can take that building down for donations. If the county doesn't accept it or anybody else accepts it. But those gifts are being thrown at us to do something with as long as we have our facility. We have the basement that has been asked for a couple times, or underneath, that the county right now occupies with storage. We have the dungeon out back that needs major renovation, major shoring up and ceiling, but everything we've done so far in the last 6 months, which this project started in June, has been done on volunteer hours, volunteer dollars, or grants that Ray has sought out. But we've accomplished a lot with the little bit that we've had, given the gifts that we've been given as well. We want to grow. If we're just sitting still, if we're just maintaining, we're not doing what we're supposed to do. We believe we've been good stewards with what the county has provided us. We would like for that to extend past just giving you guys $2,000 a month or a year for a lease, and then having you guys turn around and pay our utilities for us to survive. For us to be and to teach independence to the folks who come and stay with us, we ourselves need to be independent and proclaim that. If the county would see fit to give us the facility and the surrounding grounds there, we've got a parking lot, we want to add a playground, because right now, this past 12 months, we've housed 75 different families with children. They need a safe place to get out of they're out of their dwelling, dormitory room. The basement, that we call it the center section, could make a great day room for the children to be able to go into that's safe and warm or cool in the summer. That if the occasion arose that the mother or father or either one of them needed to go look for employment, that we might be able to hire a daycare provider to come in and sit with the children for 4 or 5 hours in the evening so the parents can go out and look for employment. So, it's a big building. It's an old building. We're doing our best to keep it up. We'd like to cover it with the metal that I just heard would be donated, if we can remove that building. I don't have any obstacles in my mind to doing what's right. And the shelter is doing, or excuse me, Pinnacle, I'm gonna change that name. Pinnacle is doing what's right for other folks who have fallen on hard times. We passed your brochure out. You can look through that and give it back if you don't want it. If you can't use it, we do collect them right back up because that's dollars out of our pocket. We're counting every penny. So questions or comments or?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
In the past, we kind of looked at you folks taking that building over.
Yes, sir.
And there's always been, the response was that we can't use our money for that.
We can't or you can?
You can't.
We can't use the grant money that's used for housing the people, but the donated funds we're giving in can be used for the bricks and mortar. Plus,
Okay.
we can go specifically for, well, nothing really changed as
You just weren't getting those
those
donations.
donations, correct. Those donations are starting to increase now to where we can pay our own utilities. We don't know exactly what the utility costs are right now for just our facility because there's 3 buildings out there. One's just a storage facility that I know of. And then the maintenance building behind it operates off the same utilities. We are, I guess, suggesting or asking if we're granted it, that we could take 6 months, pay for our utility taps as soon as possible, to split the utilities off from the other facilities, so we know how much money we're going to spend on our utilities to be able to sustain it. But we'd have 6 months to wean off the county dollars and have that in reserve to pay our utilities, because we don't know for sure what ours is, what our portion of the, I don't even know what the actual monthly bill is for all 3 facilities, but I've heard as few as 12 and as much as 20 for the year, 1,000. So if we have the 6 months to wean off of the county dollars, then we will do it from there on out, and I believe that.
And I know I've kind of been a stickler over the past few years, but things haven't been exactly up par what I thought should be. I think that over the past year or whatever, that y'all really got things going good out there, and I'm very proud of y'all there. And you're doing great work. And the thing is, the county doesn't need to be in the real estate business. You know, you give us $2,000 a year, utilities are probably your part. Just estimating right now, it's probably $6,000 to $8,000 a year. Just kind of breaking down some where we're at. But every year, that's tax dollar money.
Yes, sir.
But y'all are doing great service within the county, and I do appreciate that. And I really am leaning to try to give you back that.
Sure.
I'm speaking personally, I was a county court, but like I said, I've been kind of a stickler over the years, but I'm kind of seeing the good work being done, so I appreciate what you do.
If I may ask Mr. Grady, it's something he may know or not, but if worse came to worse, and I hate to add the devil into this mix, but if worse came to worse and we had to dissolve our 501c3, that the county didn't lose the opportunity to send that building back to the county. Not that we're trying to dump it back on you, that the county doesn't lose anything either.
That's always in our contracts and stuff,
Okay.
so.
Let me say that there may be 2 steps involved here. You know, right now, the state law does not allow the county just to transfer the property. However, there may be a transfer and then another transfer. So it may take 2 steps to actually get this done. But what I would ask Mr. Lee and Mr. Perry to provide me with their 501c3 documentation. I'd like to see that first to make sure that there could be a transfer. I have an idea of how it can be done, but I would need to talk to another entity if this body is inclined to move in this direction.
And I think one thing we need to look for is the footprint of the building and the grounds of what we need and what we can do before we
Right.
go forward. I think we're on the right track,
Well, I'm sorry.
your meeting is Wednesday up there?
Yes, this open house, yes.
Okay.
If we can come up with a date after all of this is done, and we say yes, and you guys vote, and everything's legal and so on, then we can immediately request the taps be put in by the utilities to split everything off, so that no longer is the county paying our tax or our utility bills, and we'll cover our own. But at that point, you know, in our agreement, hopefully, if everybody understood that we would still have to have 6 months to get ourselves budgeted, because we've not had a budget for utilities. And we need to budget for those utilities, and we need 6 months at least to do that, and get some level billing, if nothing else, from the utility companies, so that we know what we've got ahead of us as well. Not that that would be a sticking point if it became too much. We're going to make that happen, the utility bill, but we just don't know how much to budget for.
Glad we can work with you on that stuff. If this board finally approves that, one thing we've got to know is the footprint.
Right. Well, we have a parking lot. We need a parking lot. We would like a playground area. We want to put a baler behind the building for all the clothing items that come in that has to be recycled. So we'd like access to be able to get a pickup back there in the back of the building. And I think we kind of went through that with the fence earlier in a gate a couple months ago. But be able to get back there to a baler building so that we can pick up bales of clothing. Because we receive donations, and what we can't use is worn out or whatever, we recycle back to Pobble as they come and pick it up. But because it's not compressed, the pile just gets out of hand. So we put a baler in the back. Those recycled clothing items gets ground up and sent back to us in the shape of free emergency blankets to be passed out in case if somebody has a burnout, their house burns, or natural disaster. We can give those out free. So we get paid for the extra stuff. So the area behind the building is what we're going to shoot for.
Well, you've got a building really close to you there, and that's, with the sheriff's department garage building back there.
Right.
We need to look at different things there.
Yeah, and we kind of walked through there, but we're talking about a year down the road or so on that. But that's kind of the idea, is just the area around there. And if you guys ever move out of the maintenance building, keep in mind that we'll be looking for that too, as storage or another program, because this thing's going to get bigger. It's not going to get smaller. And I know that for a fact. I'm not talking about just physically bigger, but the things that we have to offer and will offer in the future.
All the people standing beside you, and other people standing around behind you right now.
That's right. Al Smith, and Rhonda, these guys are board members as well.
These guys are well known throughout the county, been dedicated to service within the county for many years, and I appreciate y'all.
Well, I'm very much in favor of moving forward with this and doing what we can to transfer all of this to them so they can have full control of us.
And I'm not against that, we just need a footprint, because we've got buildings around it that can access areas and points to get to. So I think we can move forward.
They need to do something between now and our next work group.
Right, Wednesday we can walk around. Those that want to join us, we can walk around the building and kind of get an idea. I want it all. You guys can only give so much. I understand there's a bargaining that needs to be done there.
Can you tell me again what time Wednesday?
Labor Day.
The meeting for the dignitaries will be between 11 and 12, but we're going to have an open house
house that runs from 11 to 3. So,
And that's for the entire county.
yeah.
See what we're doing.
Anybody else have any questions? It'd be great for you to all, meet with them, put up with her, kind of get an idea of what they're doing, how they're doing. Like I said, I've been the stickler on all this, but I thank you, I appreciate everything you've done.
Rick, I'd just like to say I appreciate that. Because I've been around since day one with it, and I appreciate that. That makes me feel that at least we are trying to go in the right direction.
Any other questions? Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Anything else, anybody have anything else come before this committee? No, I make a motion, or I entertain a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor, yeah. Yes.
Okay, next we have Community Development Committee, I'm the Newman Chair.
Okay, I call the Community Development Committee to order. Eric Newport, Rick Russ, Sheila Bowtrim, June Jeffers, Trent Cross, and Mike Slavin. And first up on our agenda is the monthly update on the litter program.
I'd like to say hey to everybody, and we had 73 miles of litter that we picked up this past month. We got 3 dump sites. Really having trouble over there on Gunfort. We picked like 3 up in the last 3 months, I think. Somebody keeps throwing out mattresses and stuff like that. We got it, and we got 2 down in Robbins. We did get to all of the districts also. So that's all on that one.
Okay. And second on the agenda is the 2018 holiday schedule for Scott County government, and I'm sure that you all have copies of that in your packet.
And that is the same thing that we had last year, except some of the days did change on some of them. And also that second page, you need to look at it because on some of the Mondays, we're not here, we need to have our meetings the following Tuesday.
We need to refer that on to the full
Yes.
commission.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor? And then, the only other thing, well, I don't have anything else for the agenda unless somebody else does.
Thank you, guys.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion is second, all in favor? Meeting is adjourned.
Okay, moving on to Intergovernmental Committee, Trent Cross Chair.
Anybody have anything for this? I'm going to call to order.
I did.
You did? Okay.
Yes.
Call Intergovernmental Committee to order. David Blue Dane. Here. Ernest Phillips. Here. Patty Brown. June Jeffers.
Here.
Kenny Chadwell.
Here.
Mike Slavin. Right. And I'll leave it for you, John.
All right, this is actually a request from our county clerk, Pat Phillips. First of all, our public records commission needs to be updated. There's at least 1 or 2 members that need to be replaced. We don't have a recommendation on those members, but that committee actually is charged with the orderly disposition of county records in accordance with state law. But until we get to that point, we may, if we can fill those, we may have a resolution to that effect for the next regular meeting. However, our county clerk has many records that need to be disposed of pursuant to state law. And I made a copy for the committee, and she actually has put this document together that indicates the records that she needs to dispose of, which she regularly disposes of pursuant to the state law. And she needs to get rid of these right now before we actually get to reconstituting the committee. So what I'm going to ask the committee, or actually ask the committee, if they will go ahead and send this to the full commission to allow the county clerk to go ahead and dispose of these items. That way she can go ahead and get rid of them now. Sure.
Does she take all these other recycling center that keep shredding and get rid of them, or?
I'm not sure what she does, but, I think she does.
Because on our budget, someone used to shred it, and that'd be a big bump for this new record.
Yeah.
Keeps on out there shredding.
She used to go up there, but I don't think she goes out there anymore.
I'm not sure, but like I say, all these documents she regularly disposes of from time to time. She just doesn't have time to do it, you know. It's normally done by the committee. Since we don't have a full committee, she needs to do it now. So that's all we're asking the commission to do.
Yeah, we got a motion.
Second.
Got a second, all in favor? Any opposed?
Mr. Mayor, you go ahead and maybe have however many members needed for that committee recommendation for the full quarter?
We need at least one member from the county commission. So if anyone is willing to step up and volunteer, we'll go ahead and take that now.
I got a license director.
Now, I will say that this committee meets very seldomly. It's usually when an office holder needs to dispose of county records. The last commission member was David Jeffers. So we need to replace David. If anybody is willing to step up.
I'll go ahead, Mr. Mayor, if you need.
Kenny, thank you.
We need to make a motion.
There's a salary of $100,000.
All right.
Pay the shred of paper.
Well, Ginger would actually be asked bad about that. The shredder on this guy.
I think they just show up at one time, and it's just a one-time
So you
fee.
don't know how much it is, okay. Anything else before you go something?
I did want to mention one other thing. I had Mary Ann make you some copies of an email and a proposed resolution that I received from the American Cancer Society. They're asking the county and municipal governments to support a resolution which gives local control with regard to the Tennessee Non-Smokers Protection Act. I'm just giving you this information at this point. I don't have any recommendations one way or the other. I have at least a couple of questions with regard to this. But I'm just providing you this information at this point. Not to recommend any action one way or the other. But I just wanted to let you know, they're asking municipal and county governments to pass this resolution. That's all I have.
Does the committee need to make a motion that Kenny proposes a member of that committee?
It's actually a recommendation from the county mayor, pursuant to state statute, so we'll go ahead and word it that way.
Well, what do we need to do on it? We're sitting here looking at each other.
We're just waiting on the chair, we're just waiting on the chair.
Well, I was reading it, and I was reading what it says here, and it's,
We don't have time to read it tonight.
apparently it's free, it's the state law,
We
but.
don't have, it's just for your information purposes.
So we already have, you can't do it. Well, anything else before we go to committee? You said,
Motion, second part of it.
I got a motion saying all in favor.
Who seconded it?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, moving on to the budget committee, Trent Cross chair.
Call the budget committee to order. Patty Brown, Rick Rust.
Here.
Mike Slade. Robert Brown. Here. Not here. We got one. First thing on it is the amendments, and actually everyone is Scott on Board of Education.
The GP 141, and the other two or three are for the federal projects.
I'm just entertaining a motion that we approve all of them in mass.
We'll make the motion.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. And Rick, you just mind
The
about
one thing I wanted to bring up is, talking to Paul the other day, and he was talking about, how good the taxes coming in, and, how well that's doing. My understanding is it's close to $200,000 since July. Yes. We've got collected. One thing I know that's made a big difference is a lot of phone calls, conversations, it's got a lot of taxes coming in. So that's pretty much double probably what we got from last year. So community work that.
I would also like to recognize Stan, some kids from Stan back here. They would like to get up and make a little presentation to all you commissioners tonight.
It's good to meet with you all. Hello, my name is Jacob Hewitt, and this is my associate Grace Kidd. We're here representing the Stan Junior Coalition, their board of directors. I'm currently the president. We would like to invite you to our second annual Stan Coalition Town Hall. And basically, Mr. Mayor Purdue was able to attend last year. And what it is, we have youth presenters, and they present their ideas on how to improve the community. And, you know, you may think, well, they're children, they don't know what the real problems in this community are. Last year, they presented on what the exact issues were. They presented on domestic violence, drug abuse, homelessness, and this isn't exact solutions for those issues, but this is to improve the environment. This is to help promote more economic sustainability, a better view of the community, and to make more of our youth and more outsiders want to stay in Scott County. And we'll go ahead and hand these out to you all.
Thank you, Jacob, and I'd like to say I was very impressed by going and watching the presentation.
I'd like to say I'm very proud of it. I want to know that.
I just like to have one thing to bring up. Don't want everybody in mind, everybody at the American Legion is having their Veterans Day service, the ceremony, and it's going to be on Saturday, which is a little different ceremony. Somebody will do that. I think it's 11 o'clock, done on 10:30.